our last item today that I'm going to go through very quickly because we're almost out of time, but this is kind of a fun thing. This is my special cameras, okay? Now, of course, in the studio here, we have a professional camera that's shooting the close-up stuff we see, and I've got a little handy cam that's fixed on the wall that's shooting me standing like this, and you know those things. And then we have cameras like this. We all have digital cameras, at least we used to. They still play a function in life because this is an optical camera that opens up like the good old-fashioned cameras. And when I zoom, I get an optical zoom. Now, I also can get a digital zoom, but I get an optical zoom. When you're using things like your cell phone, you take a picture, that's what you get. You zoom in and take a picture, it's no better than the first one you took. It just looks like you framed it better. But if you go to the computer, take the other one and zoom in on it, you'll get the same number of pixels because it's an optical, it's a digital zoom. It's sort of cheating it. So yeah, really good cameras on cell phones and stuff, but they don't give you the same thing as a digital camera with an optical. Now, here's a camera a lot of you may know about, may even have them. This is the rough and tumble outdoor underwater GoPro. And there's a lot of different ones on the market. And of course, I have one that allows me to shoot, for instance, what's going on in the bathtub when you pull the drain. Okay, we can see those kind of things. But I have a few cameras that you may not realize. Sometimes we want to get in really close to see something. It's like, let me just show you a little video here. I love that. Whoops, VCR media just crashed. We don't need it. See if we can get this to open up with what I want here, which is going to be right here. Now, you can see this shot. This I actually had on a show a couple of months ago. This was a copper pipe. That's a 1/2-inch copper pipe, and I wanted to show a hole that was created by erosion on the inside. And so none of my other cameras would get that small. This one gets really, really small. As you can see, we can see the little hole in the side. And you can see how thick or unthick the wall is as you come across. And so that allows us to do things that we can't usually do. Okay? So let's drop out of that and show you a couple of other cameras. If you want to go into walls, this was into a pipe. Not quite as small as that would be to go into a wall here with a snake camera. And this one is just warming up because I just turned it on. But as you can see, it has a screen on it. And there it is. Now the screen is up. So now if I want to shoot something like my own face or something, no, stay on the screen with the close-up. And so we can get, there you are, and you can get right in here. See those teeth and things like that. But a couple things I want to show you about this particular one that's really kind of cool is that this one allows you to pop the screen off and set it aside someplace, and then go working with this and looking for the keyboard or something else as you're coming across. And so it makes the camera far more versatile because I don't have to be twisting the screen at the same time. The other thing is, I want you to take a look at the head on this thing and notice that it moves. Okay, it's like a snake head. So when I'm inside something, I can actually twist it back and forth. And in fact, if you look now at the screen, there you are. Now you see I can move around. Sometimes we're looking at things we're not sure what it is, but because I can move without twisting the camera, I just wiggle this head back and forth. That allows me to see what I'm doing inside the wall. And a last one, well, here's a microscope. So I didn't show you the little one that we used. This is the camera I used for that plumbing. When we went in and looked at the pipe, that's a camera. It's a USB camera, and that's the whole camera. Light and everything is in there, and it's actually made for checking ears. So a doctor can check your ears and record it, make a video what's inside your ear. But it's fantastic for going into very small places, and you saw how much detail we saw when we were in there. Now you want more detail, you go to a microscope. Okay, and so here we get into a microscope like this. And now let me just see if I can get this to come up. I need to turn on the light here so that we can see what we're looking at. If you can get a shot of that screen, I want you just to notice what that is. I'm going to move it a little bit. This is a piece of wood. You look at how rough that is. Well, that's a popsicle stick that looks polished and smooth when you look at it here. Well, let's use the lens camera. See how good that popsicle, that's smooth as can be. And you saw under the microscope how rough it really was. All this series of cameras allows me to go in for whatever we want and capture not only photographs but video and see what's happening, see water flows, see things flowing, see things happening on a tiny. Actually took a video at one point of watching a piece of wood expand when I dropped some water on it, and it would grow with the expansion, and it actually moved right out of the microscopic zone. So things like that can teach us a lot. That's why I like to have lots and lots of tools, not just the woodworking tools in my shop, but tools that I call educational tools, like cameras and videos and things like that.